Hi, comic book fans, and welcome to suddenlycomics.com. It is a Monday night. It is the new year. Happy New Year, if I've not said it to you already. Alan is back from sunny Florida. I've always been in rainy Essex over Christmas. So we are back to doing what Alan does best, which is reviewing the top Silver Age sales at Heritage over the last week. We've missed doing this, and I think we've got some crackers coming up. There was a couple of crackers on Allan's show. There
I
was
know.
the first
There's some
Zap
surprises.
Comics with Robert Crumb. So some interesting one over on Allan's channel. I'll put the link below. You need to go and check that out. Anyway, let's crack on. I'm going to share my screen. In fact, there is the first Zap Comics. That's the last one we showed on Allan's show. We are going to show something different now. We are going to do, oh, I love this one. Okay, another good one. This is, I've got two copies of this, Allan.
Oh, really? Now
Yeah,
this
and
is the
one of them
first
is
appearance of
signed
the
by
Karate
Jim
Kid.
Shooter. I've got this shot. I've got a signed yellow label Jim Shooter copy of this.
Yeah, this is the first appearance of the Karate Kid.
It is the first appearance of the Karate Kid. It's the first appearance of Ferro Lad. The first
So yeah,
appearance of Nemesis Kid.
yeah. I have one copy of this, but okay, I'm not as cool as you.
And mine's signed by Jim Shooter. It is only a 4.5 though, so.
Oh, okay. And it has your checkerboard, by the way.
It does have the checkerboard on it, so it's 65 or 66, something like that. It is indeed 1966.
66. Yeah.
So I suppose the character that's got some staying power here is Karate Kid.
Yeah.
Jim Shooter and Mort Wessinger's story. Jim Shooter and Sheldon Meldorf art. How old was Jim Shooter in 1966? He started really young, didn't he, Jim
I
Shooter?
don't know. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
he
he
must have.
started really young. I think he wrote into the DC office, and he started like something like 16 or 17, something
Oh,
ridiculous.
wow. Wow. Because I think I met him at the last convention like that I went to in Toronto.
Oh, did you? Nice.
Yeah, he was in a wheelchair actually. He's
Oh, was
kind of
he?
old.
Okay, well,
Yeah, I
he's on a bit. He's getting on a bit.
think it's Jim Shooter. Yeah.
Yeah, he's. I've seen a few interviews with him recently. He didn't appear to be in a wheel. He was sat down, so I wouldn't have been able to tell.
Mhm.
Yeah, very nice, very nice. Love this one. And it's look at this copy. It's a
Yeah,
9.4. What a cracker!
I know it's beautiful, beautiful, and it's some kind of pedigree as well. Like not a full pedigree, but it's
Uh,
got like some little whatever that is.
The
I don't
Greenwich collection.
Greenwich collection. So
Yeah, it hasn't
semi
got its own. It
pedigree
hasn't
book.
got its own pedigree label though. Well, I suppose it
Yeah,
has with that blue blob on it. But anyway.
yeah,
So how much did this sell for? 2640. Oh, it's always difficult with these DC ones. If it was
yeah. It's hard to. This is not one most people would gravitate to, where they think, "Oh, this is a major key," but I think that's a really good price. That's a strong price, is my point.
let's have a look at this. Let's see if this is because we had two record prices on DC Comics on Alan's show. 9.4 for 2640. There's not many of these. There's no 9.8s. 2640, I think, is a record, Alan. It is.
Oh yeah, big record actually. Look at that. Just
Big
shot right
record.
up.
But that the last one sold in 2011.
Oh
So
jeez. Wow. It better go up
but
at that
there
point.
are seven of these, so people hang on to them, don't they?
Yeah.
Those people who've got the seven don't want to sell them.
Mhm.
So yeah, record price, big record from the last sale. Nice. Another DC minor key hitting a record price, Alan. What is going
And
on?
there's like about 200 of these on the census.
I would have think there's something like that. There's only
250.
164 universals. There's 250s. A lot of restoreds
Yeah.
on this. Oh, a lot of
Yeah.
signed. There's quite a lot of signed ones.
Signed. So just like you, where you got your
It's
Jim
less
Shooter
like me.
signed.
Everybody's got Jim Shooter to sign their copies of this.
Actually, that could be a reason why the price has gone up so much. You get the art, you go out, you get this book, crack it out of the slab, get it signed.
Yeah. Yeah, indeed. That could well be it. It's a bit like Star Trek One, where there's nearly as many signed copies as there are not signed copies.
Yeah,
That's
very interesting. So cool book.
nice.
Again, I have this in a low grade.
Yeah,
Have it like raw.
my signed copy, I checked it earlier, is 4.5. And it's a signed by Shooter. I paid $150 for it, which I think is
Oh,
pretty good.
that's not too bad. That's not too bad. For like you're basically buying the signature at that price.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And was that like, is it a gold label and
Yeah,
everything,
it's a
or?
gold label, yeah.
Oh, nice. That's really
Yeah.
nice.
Mm. So yeah, there we go. Right, that was a good start, Alan. Okay, what have we got next? Oh, it's a Spidey. It's Doc Ock.
Yeah, I picked this one. I was debating about this one or showing the ASM one, but I figured, hey, let's do a different Spider-Man that we don't normally see. So I picked this one instead.
I always think when I
Um,
see this, how did the people know that Alfred Molina was going to play Doctor Octopus?
I
Because
know. Like, I think if I had that haircut, I'd become evil too. So I,
you just wish you had that much hair, Alan.
I
Right.
know, I know.
Right. Second appearance of Doctor Octopus. First appearance of and death of Bennett Brandt. There we go. First appearance and
Yeah,
death. He didn't last long then. Um,
yeah, but
yeah,
yeah.
nice. Very
I always
nice.
liked this cover actually. I always thought it was cool. Like,
Yeah, it's
it
a
really
good cover.
showcases
Yeah.
how the his arms kind of like,
Ditko, of course. So, 2880 for an 8. That sounds low.
yeah, it does. But it's not a key. It's not a major key. So
No, it's second appearance, but
second
it
appearance.
is
Yeah.
Spider-Man 11.
Yeah.
Right. So what did we what grade was it? An 8.
8. Yeah.
Oh dear.
Marvel's not performing so well this year, but
Oh, wait a minute. It's slightly up.
not too bad. It's like it's up.
It's a bit up on the last sale. It stopped falling at least.
Actually, it's
Okay, well, that's a good
way.
sign. That's actually not bad. I think that's quite a healthy sale.
But if you look at the trend line, this is way above the trend
Yes,
line.
way up, way ahead of its well, pre-COVID's there actually.
Okay, it's still
This
way
was
above it.
rising before COVID. So so that low point's 2017. So COVID, when we get COVID is this bit here.
That big peak, yeah.
Yeah. So
But it's actually almost coming back up to
you
that peak
take
again.
pre-COVID, we're about the pre-COVID price actually, but a
Yeah,
bit above pre-COVID price, which is about
yeah.
right.
It's very interesting. Like it's almost up to that peak again. That second peak. It's like a little bit below it, but not
Yeah.
much.
Yeah, that's quite a healthy sale, I think. I think that's a good
Yeah.
sign, Alan, because that has stopped falling, which is we're not seeing that on everything. So
Hmm.
that's a good little sign of
Recovery.
spring with bulbs breaking through ground, would stopped the fall.
And if you think about it, these sales actually should be low. Just so you know, like all the sales that we're looking at were the worst time to buy
Yeah,
or,
Christmas.
or
Yeah.
or to sell. I mean, worst time to sell because this sale was on December 31st.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So very few people are going to be watching.
Yeah.
Very few people have money left after Christmas.
Hmm.
Usually January is kind of a weak month in terms of sales. So
Yeah.
so that's actually really strong. I'm impressed.
That's
So
quite
that's good.
that's quite strong. I agree. What have we
But
got?
2,000 of those on the on the census though. Wow.
Oh, here we go. This is one of Alan's
Another
faves.
another big one.
So Avengers 1, nice cover. Kirby, Kirby, of course,
And it's actually really pretty 4.0.
and it's a
Like the
4.0.
colors are
It's a
strong.
very nice 4.0. There's
Yeah.
got some spine ticks, but there's nothing missing from it.
I think it's that bottom left-hand corner that's the
Oh,
reason it
here, yeah,
just like
it's got a tear,
it,
hasn't it?
it, it looks like a tear. Yeah.
Yeah,
A pretty, but it's not really noticeable. I mean, it's such a good presenting 4.0.
yeah, it is a good presenting 4.0. Um, right. and 3,600.
First appearance of the Avengers. Yeah.
First
So
appearance of the Avengers. I think
I
for
think this is low. Sorry.
the year.
It
Okay, well, let's have a
feels low
look.
to me because I
4036. There we go. Oh, I'm afraid you're right.
yeah.
It's on a downward slope. It's still a lot higher than pre-COVID,
Yeah.
but it's still coming down.
I think it's still trying to find its floor because
It
there's
is.
a couple of things that are pulling it down where there's no new Avengers, movie or
Yeah.
something spec related to it. And just before COVID, you had like sort of all the hype around the Avengers, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
the fact that it's still above that
It's
is pretty
still quite a
strong.
long way above that, actually.
Yeah.
So yeah, well, it's about, what was it, 2.6, and it was about, oh no, it's not that much.
How much was it before COVID?
Well, 2.9, it says there. What's this? 3.6. So it's still $700 above where it was pre-COVID.
Yeah, that's very strong. That's
Yeah, no,
20%.
that's quite strong, but it's still coming down, Alan. So I wouldn't buy this yet.
Oh, no, no, no. I wouldn't buy it either, but it's a great book.
Yeah,
Personally, it's one of my go-to books in terms of Grail books.
yeah, yeah.
But look how many copies there are.
A
You know,
lot.
yeah, 5,000. That's so insane. We were looking at the DC ones and it's
With
like
200, yeah.
it's like just not
5,000.
even comparable.
Yeah, of course, because this was launched in '63. Fantastic Four was well underway. Spider-Man was when Spider-Man '63 as well, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Uh,
62, I believe,
yeah.
actually.
So this is building on the Marvel euphoria. So there were lots of copies of this.
Mhm.
Right. Okay. So far for Marvel. Oh, another big Marvel.
This is a really big Marvel.
Hulk #1. Let's have a look at this. That looks quite. Oh, it's just, yeah, 2.5.
So I bought mine pre-COVID.
Yeah.
I have a 2.0 copy of
Okay.
of this book, and I paid about 6,000.
So you paid 6,000 for a 2.0.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this is 18 and a half for a 2.5. So that sounds all right, Alan.
Yeah, yeah, based on my experience, but I think it went really crazy during COVID. This book had reached incredible heights for Incredible
2.5.
Hulk. And it's actually a rare one for Marvel. If you look at the census, just quickly look at the census.
Alan, it's a record. We've got a Marvel book with a record.
Yeah, actually, this one really strong sale. Actually, as I said, I paid like 6,000 for my copy.
Well, you did well.
Um,
This is
yeah,
this is higher than COVID.
yeah, I know that's crazy.
Right, that is the first. Okay, guys, bring out the trumpets, bang the drums. For about the
2024,
last
yay!
18 months, Alan and I have hardly reported on any record Marvel sales on Marvel Key.
Wow.
This is the first one for ages.
But
Look
this
at
is
that.
actually a rarer um, Marvel key. It is the
Yeah.
first Hulk, first all the characters associated to the Hulk. Um,
Yeah, there's only
but it's only
2,000
got
of
like
these.
2,000, and only 1,400 are universal.
Yeah.
You look at the number restored;
Yeah, a lot
it's
of
actually quite
restored.
high.
Yeah, 400
Um,
restored.
so yeah, so this book is for what it is. It's actually quite rare.
Yeah.
Um,
So you must have made a lot of money on your 2.0 then, Alan.
well,
So
I don't know.
I think you have. Yeah. If you paid 6 for it, says currently says here the fair market value for a 2.0 is, well, the last one sold for 12.8. So you've doubled your money on your Hulk.
Mhm.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah. It's actually one of the few books for Marvel that hasn't tanked.
It
It's
has not
consistently,
tanked.
if you look at that
Not
graph,
tanked at
it's
all.
consistently going up.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Okay.
yeah,
There we go. I'm happy now. Right.
yeah,
So
one
that
good one.
means we've got one comic left, and I think I know what it is.
It's your favorite comic of all time.
Oh, and I haven't had to look at this for a whole month. Right.
But this one, the reason I picked this one was not just because it's your favorite book. I picked it because it's a restored copy,
It is
and actually, I was surprised by the price. 21
21,600.
thousand, because I actually remember a blue label going for about the same recently.
Yeah, I think you're right.
So I was like, oh,
But
that's
these
interesting.
restoreds can often buck the trend.
Yeah. So I always like, having a bit of a something a little bit different than what, you know, uh, the typical one, the blue labels all the time. Like
I mean, that
showing
looks
a
great,
restore,
doesn't it? I mean, whoever's done
it
the
does
restoration on that has
whoever
done
did
a
the
really
restoration did a good job. Yes. It's
small
just
amount
got a
of
little
color
bit of
touch on the
waviness at the
cover.
top, right?
So all this has
It's
got is a small amount of color touch and a bit of
yeah.
tape on the interior color cover. You could get
So
this
this could
undone.
that's what probably somebody was thinking. So this is the C1. Now that's the okay. So if you're the kind of person that think, okay, I can get the color touch removed, things will be good. I can reslab it and get
I
20
reckon the
times
color
much.
touch is here, Alan, around this dark area on the spine.
Yeah. Here's the warning though. It's a C1. Now
Right.
that C means something. That C means that it's amateur restoration.
Yeah.
So they
Yeah.
probably use something that's harder to remove, and
Yeah.
you'll actually in if you remove that restoration, even if it's a small amount, it'll probably leave like a hole. There'll be a hole there, and you won't get a 3.5 anymore. You'll probably get a 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
just something to be aware of. Like if it was an A1, then maybe you could remove it without any damage to the book.
Well, plus this has
But the
got a good
C,
price anyway, Alan.
oh yeah, yeah. I'm just saying, it's
I
just
mean, this is sold for 21,600. I don't think I'm going to start messing around with a book that's worth 21,600.
yeah, and it does present well. Like who cares if it's got the purple label at this point?
Yes.
It's a nice looking book.
Well, you bought it knowing it's a purple label.
Exactly.
So, um, and let's have a look. So I put restored up here. That's a not a bad price.
Yeah,
It's
about
not
flat.
quite a record. The previous one
Yeah,
sold for 23 back in January 22 at COVID time. But it's well, it's held its price.
yeah. Yeah, very strong sale. That's why I said when I saw the price, I was like, oh, that's interesting. Like, let's see what the blue label comparatively sells for.
Right, let's have a look at blues.
And you should expect it to be about 40% more would be fair.
Um, well, it's a bit more. So 21. Well, this has suffered, of course, and it's
Yeah. So
falling.
what was
The
the
last
last
sale on
sale?
this was 27,600. So it's only sold
So
that's
almost not much difference.
6,000 difference. That's not huge, is it? You were right when you said you thought it'd been a sale of this similar amounts. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that's why I was so surprised by it.
yeah.
So this one sold for
Um,
24 and the last sale was 26. So
yeah.
for a blue label, I mean, that's like very little difference.
Well, with
So
this one here in September last year, sold for 224. So only a couple of grand difference between the restored and the non-restored.
yeah, yeah, it's crazy. So it's I think the reason why is when
And
you
this
get
looks nowhere
just
near as good.
actually almost looks like the same book.
It's not the same
It's the
book.
waviness. I know, just the waviness at the top. So
Yeah,
it's actually not as pretty as the
it's
restored
not
one.
because this top bit here is not very good. It's not bad otherwise. It's just that this top area.
Almost looks like the same book, and this one it has like they restored it like along that side or something. Um, so yeah, very interesting. But it just shows how restored books maybe kind of something people should kind of consider. I've been beating the drum for restored books for a while, and
Yeah,
this shows that they hold their value.
yeah. But I think there's nothing wrong with restored book. It's as long as you know you're buying a restored book.
Yeah, if you
My
buy a
I always
book
get
and then you
what
see
happens
it,
to me when my disappointment with restored is when I've got a comic I don't know it's restored. I send it into CGC and then it comes back with a purple label, and I didn't realize it had been restored. That's what
That is, yeah, that's deceptive, and it's not fair. It's sort of like it's I see it the same way as a green label. You
yeah,
buy a book and you think it's complete, but something's been cut out or a page is missing, and then you're like, oh, that's you feel cheated.
yeah,
But when you buy it and you know all of those things, well, you're buying what you're buying the book. You're buying what you expect, you know?
yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah. So I
Okay.
don't know. I thought that was an interesting one to end it.
Yeah, no, that was quite interesting. I agree.
And a couple of strong sales for Marvel, actually,
Yeah, not
which
bad.
is
There's a couple of encouraging ones there. That's the first record we've had on a Marvel key for a long, long time on that Hulk one. A
yeah,
couple of those other Marvels don't appear to have stopped
not
falling.
too bad. Not too bad. Yeah.
But and we had three record sales on minor DC keys.
Yeah. And remember, this is, as I said, this is a week auction. Like
Yeah,
it's not like one where you're going to expect to get record sales because it's at the worst time. It's like,
yeah.
people, you know, but so that, I thought that was kind of cool. You know, good overall, good way to start the year. Hopefully the rest of the year will be as strong.
Right, onwards and upwards, Alan. We will see you next
Mhm.
week when we'll be looking
Yeah.
back at this week at sales of Silver Age comics.
Mhm.
See you then.
Okay, bye.